What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another daily deck tech video. And as I said, I'm going to be doing a couple more of the Ninja Turtles deck techs, throwing a couple of them out there that I find interesting. And then we'll be on to some viewer requests, which I've got quite a few of those to get done over the weekend. But let me know what you think of the Turtle set. I thought I was really not going to like it, but I ended up actually really enjoying a lot of the flavor on some of the cards. And that's from somebody who should be nostalgic for Ninja Turtles, but is not nostalgic for Ninja Turtles. Like, I'm a millennial, right? Like, I'm going to be 37 in a couple weeks. Oh, God. I don't know. But today, we have ourselves a Shark Shredder Killer Clone. And this is actually one of my favorites that I was looking forward to. So who is Shark Shredder Killer Clone? Well, in the show, I have absolutely no idea. However, in card form, it's a 4/4 for 2 generic and double black. It has Sneak, which is kind of like ninjutsu, right? If you attack with something, it's not blocked, you can sneak this into play, and it comes in tapped and attacking. Has First Strike, and when Shark Shredder deals combat damage to a player, put up to 1 target creature card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It enters tapped and attacking that player as well. That's pretty neat. Also, something really interesting with Sneak is that you can sneak from the command zone. I did some checking on this, consulted all my friends who have also been playing for a million years, and yeah, just like really interesting ability. Really interesting take on ninjutsu. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be having a lot of removal, a lot of theft, and we're going to try to get there with this stuff. So how are we going to do that? Well, we got ourselves 22 creatures. Now, I've seen some people ask me and tell me that I should be running something like 30, 40 creatures in a deck, and I just don't know how you do that, friends, because I'm very strict about not going below 37 lands. 36 if my mana curve is super low, right? So say I have 37. We'll just round up to, that's 40 slots taken up. Right? Well, 37, 38 with your commander. So you've got yourself a certain amount of slots left. I don't know how you're dividing those thirds into 40 creatures and then no spells. But how are we going to do this? We got ourselves a Cursed Marauder, Demonic Disciple, Plague Crafter, Fleshbag Marauder. I'm a big fan of these style of cards. Where's the other one? Yeah, Vashta Narada. These are all, they enter the battlefield and then they sack themselves, and every other player has to sack something as well. This is good value. It's like a 1-for-1 cheap removal spell. Pretty neat. And if you do play them in a different type of deck where it doubles the triggers, it's fun, because then you can sacrifice multiple things, especially if you have tokens. So those are generic value for getting rid of people's creatures. We have Archon of Cruelty, an absolute bomb. He does cost 8, so that is something. But whenever Archon of Cruelty enters the battlefield or attacks, target opponent sacks a creature or planeswalker, discards a card, loses 3 life. You draw a card, and you gain 3 life. Now, to enable our Sneak, we do have a few all-stars in here. We have Changeling Outcast. He's a 1/1 for 1 that can't block or be blocked. We have Dothy Horror, who has Shadow. Remember, creatures with Shadow can only block or be blocked by creatures with Shadow. And in addition, on Dothy Horror, he can't be blocked by white creatures. So if somebody happens to have, I can't remember what the white Shadow creatures are, but if they happen to have one, they can't block with it. And Dothy Voidwalker, which is, of course, if a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, instead exile it with a Void counter on it. Now, this is sort of a nombo with your commander. So, the odds of, you want to have the graveyard full before you get Dothy Voidwalker out if your commander's going to be out. We have Desperate Bloodseeker, lifelink. He enters the battlefield, target player mills 2 cards, so you're going to mill your opponent a couple cards, get some of the stuff into their graveyard. We have Ink Eye, Servant of Oni with Ninjutsu, which Ninjutsu, of course, is return an unblocked attacker you control to your hand. Put this card onto the battlefield from your hand, tapped and attacking. And it has pretty much the same ability as Shark Shredder, which is whenever Ink Eyes deals combat damage to a player, you may put target creature card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. The only difference is that it isn't tapped and attacking. This is also a great example of seeing power creep over the years. This is a 4/4 for 4 with Sneak 5, which albeit this is also Ninjutsu 5, right? Sneak is better than Ninjutsu. We have First Strike on this creature, and it puts a creature from target creature from that person's graveyard tapped and attacking. This is just straight power creep. For 1 more power and regenerate, it's 2, but regenerate's not really useful anymore, and the difference between a 5/4 and a 4/4 isn't very high. We have Massacre Girl in here, so that way when she enters, everything gets -1, -1. When something else dies this turn, everything besides her gets a further -1, -1. It can wipe the board. Massacre Worm. All creatures get -2/2 for opponents, and whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, the player loses 2 life. We have Nashi, Moon Sage Scion. He's a 3/2 4/3 with Ninjutsu, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. Until end of turn, you may play those cards. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than its mana cost. We have Ophiomancer. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you control no snakes, create a 1/1 black snake. Pitiless Blunder, so if another creature you control dies, create a treasure. Rankle, when it connects to an opponent, each player can discard a card. Each player can lose a life, draw a card, and each player sacrifices a creature. You can choose any number of these effects. Ravenous Chupacabra, he's a handsome boy, and when he enters, you destroy target creature an opponent controls. We have Shredder Shadow Master. He's a 5/5/5, and when he attacks a player, for each other opponent, create a token that's a copy of Shredder, tapped and attacking that player, except it isn't legendary, sack them at the end of combat, and whenever he deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life rounded down. Rounded up. So we do have a little bit of like threat on the board in case you can't steal things from your opponent's graveyard, because if your opponents aren't playing good creatures, you're going to be up Shit's Creek without a paddle. Also in this vein, we have Unstoppable Slasher, so, doing that. We have Tiny Bones the Pickpocket. Death Touch, and whenever Tiny Bones the Pickpocket deals combat damage to a player, you may cast target non-land permanent card from that player's graveyard, and mana can be spent as any type. We have Tormented Soul. He can't be blocked, and can't block. He also has spooky art. Further, with the Shredder and Unstoppable Slasher, I believe in having redundancy strategies in how to get there with different things. Reanimator, it can be a little weak, especially if somebody graveyard hates somebody who has good stuff in their graveyard. So having things like Archon, Massacre Worm, etc. helping with an alternate strategy to win is a good idea. Always have a backup plan when you build decks. Here we have Bubbling Muck until end of turn. Your swamps produce an additional black. It's literally black High Tide for sorcery. Here we have Demigorgon's Clutches. Target opponent discards 2 cards, mills 2 cards, loses 2 life. Use this on your opponents to get more stuff into their graveyard. Dread Summons X and double black. Each player mills X cards. For each creature card put into a graveyard this way, you put a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token into play. Feed the Swarm. Destroy target creature enchantment. You lose life equal to the mana value. Gix's Command, you can choose 2. Put 2 1/1 counters on up to 1 target creature gains lifelink till end of turn. Destroy each creature with power 2 or less. Return up to 2 cards, creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, and each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest power among creatures they control. I usually choose the bottom 2 options. We have Night's Whisper, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. We have Nuclear Fallout, which is still one of my favorite cards in all of Magic the Gathering. Each creature gets twice -X until end of turn, and each player gets X rad counters. We've got Reanimate, so you can put a card from your graveyard onto the battlefield and lose life equal to its mana value. From a graveyard, yeah. Rise of the Dark Realms, put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. This does cost 9, so this is a hell of a win con. We have Sign in Blood, draw 2, target player draws 2, loses 2, and Toxic Deluge. As an additional cost to cast this spell, pay X life. All creatures get -X until end of turn. As a side note with Sign in Blood, I have both killed somebody in Commander and somebody in Brawl by targeting them with Sign in Blood. It was amazing. Instance, we got Darkness, which is Black Fog. We have Deadly Dispute, sack a creature, draw 2 cards, create a treasure token. We have Defile, target creature gets -1/-1 for each swamp. We have Feign Death, so if a creature you control would die, bring it back. you want to protect your different creatures, your value cards. We have Go for the Throat is removal. Hero's Downfall is removal. Side note, I really like the art on Hero's Downfall. I like the blue sword. Infernal Grasp, removal. Murder, removal. Not Dead After All is the same thing as Feign Death. Brings the thing back with a Wicked Roll token on it. Shieldred Edict is removal. They can each sack a creature, a planeswalker, or a non-token creature. Or a token creature. Soul Shatter. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest converted mana cost. Among creatures and planeswalkers they control. Ultimate Price, destroy target monocolored creature. Undying Malice is one of the bring back cards. Unseal Necropolis, each player mills 3 cards. Then you return up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. We have Village Rites, sack a creature, draw 2. Artifacts, we've got ourselves Altar of the Brood, so whenever a permanent enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills a card. Basilisk Scholar to give us some lifelink. Brass Knuckles, whenever you cast a spell, copy it. Equipped creature has double strike as long as 2 or more equipment are attached to it. This is one of those backup plans where you can put this on your shadow creatures, etc. We have Fire Shrieker. So also the double strike is whenever, your Shark Shredder hits. So its ability will trigger twice. Brass Knucks is in there for it. Fire Shrieker's in there for it. Genji's Gloves is in there for it. Genji's Gloves is a bit expensive though. We do have Prowler's Helm, a Whisper Silk Cloak, and Trailblazer's Boots to give evasion. Trailblazers is evasion based on non-basic lands. Whisper Silk gives them unblockable and Shroud, and Prowler's Helm makes it so they can't be blocked except by walls. We have Swiftfoot Boots for protection, and Sword of Body and Mind mills the player and makes a wolf token. Enchantments we're only running 2. We have Kaya's Ghost Form, so if the thing dies, it comes back. And then we have Dothi Embrace, which is target creature in shadow until end of turn. Use this on your Shark Shredder. It also has cool little bug art. Lands, very simple. We're running 36 Swamps, Rogue's Passage, Access Tunnel, and Susser Secundi Void Altar, which is pay 2, sack a creature, draw cards equal to its power. I really like that card. I really like the planets, friends. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. How are you liking the turtle set? I bought a box. I got some interesting cards from it. I bought the Commander deck, just sitting right over there. It's sleeved up. And as an added fun thing that finally came in after weeks and weeks and weeks, my Fallout Secret Layers finally came in, which the bonus cards for them were, it was like a Rune Crab for the Mothman one. For the Unique Characters one, it's Academy Manufacturer, and then for the New Vegas one, it's Big Score. So, let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.